DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, I hope you're well. It is Thursday, and I'm trying something new actually on the Apple phones at the App Store. There's a new video app from Final Cut. So it's it's one of these video apps. I mean, made by Apple that gives you a lot of control. So I'm trying it because I already have Final Cut on my Mac. So anyway, just saying, sometimes playing around with new things, new toys is kind of fun. So, like I said, I hope you're well, and we are in. Well, I know a lot of you have had actually over in North America have had a lot of hot weather, but we have not. We've had a lot of rain and rather cool. But today it is. Let me see. It is 26. So it's going to go up to. It's going to go up to 28, I guess. 26, 28. It's going to go up to 28, I guess, today. So that's that's pretty warm, nevertheless. It's not. I was going to say it's not tropical, but it's kind of humid because we've had so much rain. So you do feel it a lot. Yeah. Oh, can you feel it's like well, you don't have kids, most of you, but some of you might have grandkids, and you can feel like you're coming up to that end of the school year. Second son of DC is teaches, so him and his partner, they're both teachers. So I mean, you can kind of see like they're looking forward to a few weeks off. And one thing that people don't actually realize, or I was going to say, it's one of these false ideas, is that teachers don't do anything after school stops, and they're like months out of doing anything and just take time off. It's actually not true. They do a lot of things. They get things ready. They prepare new classes. At least I was going to say responsible and serious teachers do that. But anyway, enough said. I mean, it's good. It's good to know actually that there's some people out there that still take their job seriously. Yesterday I was with Mrs. DC, and we went to see a friend of ours who now lives in Portugal. It's a Swiss couple who live in Portugal. Now they've emigrated to Portugal after their retirement, and they were, of course, telling us about the cost of living, the cost of housing, and everything. And it was like, oh wow, oh wow. And I kind of get it. If somebody wants to go and live into a cheaper foreign country, like I know a lot of Americans, for example, will go to Mexico for that. But you have to be ready to, I was going to say, live with a certain amount of sacrifices. Maybe the absolute first one, and it's not even your family yet, it's your day-to-day living in another language. Because depending on where you're going, in this case, these are Swiss people that went to Portugal, and neither one of them speaks either Spanish nor Portuguese. So yeah, that's something. Of course, you will hear that, well, you've always got somebody that speaks English. Yeah, that's the same. I mean, I moved to the Swiss-German part of Switzerland, and you can say that. But you know something? When you live in an apartment building and you have to do your day-to-day living, that doesn't help. Most of the time, you just got basically to buckle down and learn the language or find a way to do that. Yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, if you like hot weather, and they've got a big house, they got a pool, and everything that probably they could not have afforded on a Swiss retirement salary here. So good for them. I mean, I'm not jealous of it. I mean, I know the people very well, and I know that goes very well with their style of living. For example, the person has he has his second wife. They don't have children themselves, but with his first wife, he had four children, and there's some grandchildren involved. And I think it would drive me nuts. I get it, you know, like I personally emigrated. It was hard for my family, for my mom and dad up to a point, but my brother and sister were there. So they were not left alone. In this case, you know, they go off on their own to be alone. So like I say, it's a character thing. The people, maybe those of you who've been following me for a while, remember in 2018, we went to Africa. I'm part of a board of trustees on a foundation in the Ivory, for a foundation that works in the Ivory Coast. So this is the white king of a certain region, dagocleo, in the Ivory Coast. And the lady, so his wife, is the so-called queen. So she's from the Ivory Coast. Now, and it makes things make add on a little touch of complexity. Is he was my direct boss. He was like the number 2 person of the company I worked for in the last few years of my career, and he was my direct boss. And we would go quite often actually abroad, where I had my research projects, and he would basically, I was going to say, give the seal of approval of the all upper management, because like I say, he was number 2, and the company that I was in, there was no real hierarchy. There was number 1 who had a right-handed man, which was my boss, and basically I was that man's right-hand man, if we want to make things simple. It was about that, yeah. So, you know, it was nice to get together because we had worked together very close-knit for many, many years. And like I say, traveled abroad together many times, and we knew each other. My wife, so Mrs. DC, his wife, we've traveled all 4 together, and in very difficult situations, meaning like when we were in Africa, and I won't get into the details now, but you know, it was not always easy to the life on the terrain, you know, with the in the bush, just put it that way, literally in the bush. So yeah, I'm bringing that because every now and then you have friends that you can just go back and meet them and talk, and it's like you had not seen them. I mean, it's like if you had not been away. And that's the way it is, you know, with these friends. We spend a lovely evening. They live about an hour's train ride away from our city. So, you know, like we're about 15 minutes from the train station. They're about 15 minutes from the train station. So it was an hour and a half travel to get to their place. And we came back around, we were home at midnight yesterday. I'm saying that because that's actually one of the things that was brought up to me by a question, is that, you know, well, how's our public transport? And as you can see, we had no problem doing that actually, and going to their place and coming back and being home. And we were not on the absolute last train, although we didn't want to get home any later. Yeah. So anyway, I won't be chatting all that long, but I just want to bring that. You have many friends that you can, or people that you can just go to and see them again after years of absence, or a long period of absence, and then just jump back in as if it was yesterday. I've got a few. I have to admit I have a few, and it's really nice. It really is. Strangely enough, there's a few people which I'm quite close to, some friends here, that when we're together, it goes really well. But there's always that little period of, and then you get into it, and then you start off. You might know what I'm talking about. It's interesting how with some people it just clicks, and with other people you got to go through first gear and then into second, and then eventually you're into you know, a higher speed or something like that. Anyway, so I've seen me talking long enough. I haven't actually said very much, have I? Anyway, that's kind of nice. That's the nice thing about chatting and vlogging. Okay, LBTC signing off. Take care, everybody. And, well, I was going to say have a good hump day, but it isn't hump day, so have a great Thursday. Bye-bye. Take care.